Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to another brand new episode of the show. Appreciate you all being here with me. Super excited about today's episode with the return of After Wednesday. Had a lot of fun catching up with these guys at their Bennett's home, hanging out in the basement, talking about new music. They got a brand new album, big album release party happening this week. And it was great to catch up with them. It's been a long time. It's been like almost 5 years since we did one of these together. So it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy it. Do want to remind you, as always, Rock Paper Podcast is brought to you by Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri. Serving up all your craft beer needs. Over 25 rotating taps out there. So got all kinds of tasty beverages. Got all kinds of tasty eats. You got your burgers, nachos, flatbread pizzas, and pretzels, and your favorite bar food, along with your daily specials out there. So come out and grab a meal and a drink and enjoy some live music out there. On Thursdays, they do Singo Bingo night. And Thursday, December 7th, will be Disney Singo Bingo. Friday, December 8th, you got Josh Littig out there. And Saturday, December 9th, Jeff Walshauser out there. They've been doing a fun holiday flight series out there. So if you want to come sample some holiday beers, it'd be a great way to do that. And while you're there, you can bring an unwrapped toy donation for Toys for Tots and receive a free beer that way. So it's a great thing they're doing, a great way to support the kids and have a good time doing so. You get a free beer out of it and win-win for everybody. You can find their full music calendar, beer menu, food menu, and everything else at friendshipbrewingcompany.com. And you've heard me talk about it, but over the summer they recently launched the Fly High location, and out there in Flint Hill, Missouri. Same great beer, a whole new dining experience from the Fly High kitchen though, so you come out and see what's going on out there. And this weekend, Friday, December 8th, you can catch Steve Kyle there. And Saturday, December 9th, Andy Tucker at Fly High. You can get plugged in on the socials, friendshipbrewingcompany.com for everything else, and come out and support some local beer. Have a good time at Friendship Brewing Company in Wentzville, Missouri, and Fly High location in Flint Hill. And coming soon to Hannibal, Missouri area. So keep an eye out for that. All right, if you need me, you can always find me at rockpaperpodcast.com. Hit me up on the socials. Email me, rockpaperpodcast@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you all. And with that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy a brand new episode with After Wednesday.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
What's up, everybody? We are
After Wednesday.
You're listening to
Rock Paper Podcast.
Woo! Was that too loud?
Rock Paper Podcast.
Scissors beat paper, paper covers rock. Rock beats scissors, Shane covers non-stop. Never know what new kind of guest that he's got coming at you. Live and direct on the spot. Could be rock, folk, country, or hip-hop, jazz. All kind of folks that he has. Could be an artist or a comedian to make you laugh on the
Rock Paper Podcast.
double-decker fudge round, rolling round town. Shane coming at you live and direct from ground zero. He's your hero, he's your bestie. Rock Paper Podcast with Shane Presley.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Hey, everybody. Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out tonight with returning guest After Wednesday. Man, that felt good to say that, guys. It's been a long time since we've been together, but the boys are back.
How long?
And like
2018, I think.
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's
Been a while.
Long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
I've missed you, Shane.
we're very happy to be back.
Yeah,
It's nice to be able to sit down and talk again.
For sure. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we got a brand new record to talk about, big old party. So plenty to catch up on, obviously, being all these years later, but I'm glad that we are all still here and still making new music. But we have somebody new with us today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jack, drum roll. Drum roll on the thighs.
Who wants to do the introduction?
I think he should
I
introduce
think he should
himself.
introduce himself.
All right.
Yes. Hello. Thank you. Name is AP Lewandowski. I am on guitar.
Yeah, man.
And
The
vocals.
trio is dead.
The trio is over.
And we officially have talent.
We got so tired of just the three of us, like a bickering married couple.
We had all of our like side text chats where I would text Pat anytime I'm annoyed with Jack. I would text Jack anytime I'm annoyed with Pat.
Add one more.
We needed to add somebody else to vent to.
I would text Jack and be like, "Bet it's being unreasonable, right?"
And now everybody just talks about me instead. So it works out.
100%.
Well, we do still have the trio group chat, so we talk about you.
All right.
Yeah, that's
We
unfortunate.
got to figure that out, but that's a problem for another day. Yeah, we we were talking before the show, like getting ready, and I think AP sent me a video of him playing an intervals song, and we've been close. Me and AP have been close for a decent amount of time, probably like 5 or 6 years at this
What's your
point.
relation?
Cousin in law removed by girlfriend.
Convoluted. I am married to Bennett's girlfriend's cousin.
Girlfriend of how many years?
7.
Enough.
More than enough.
But yeah, we were just kind of he sent a video of him playing guitar, that intervals track, and I was just I've known he's a good guitar player for a really, really long time, and I think with all the stuff we do, like on the album, there's so many layers of guitar that like I think we just want to make our stuff sound good, right? Like
Live,
we work really, really hard on the studio stuff, and to make it feel like it's really coming together live, I knew we needed somebody. So we asked AP, come to the first practice after like listening to the songs for like a week.
More prepared than we
I was
were.
gonna say this story too.
So
He had the songs
and mine-
uploaded to his pedal board.
Mind you, we had spent over 2 years with these songs. We get there and we're like,
but yeah, I mean, like he just the vibe was also there too. Like I think we would have probably just wanted to have like another person live, but the second like he came in and like we just kind of all got along. It felt
We're
right
a very
to like.
niche group that's very hard to get
It's
along
very, very hard to get into. Super selective.
I don't know what that says
So
about me
selective
as a person
with.
to be able
hazed
to.
him for a week.
so selective that AP had to send in an audition tape to Bennett. It sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're super excited to move forward. Obviously, we have some stuff to talk about in the now, but I think we have a lot of stuff we're super excited to be doing as a group of the 4 of us moving forward. So
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah.
Very well said.
I mean, I didn't know we were going to have a surprise fourth
Yeah, we
member.
didn't have the mic stands for it. That's why you're holding your mic.
I'll gladly hold it.
I'm listening to the record that we're going to get into, and I'm like, man, there's a lot going on these tracks for 3 guys to try to pull off live.
There's no way.
Yeah, there's about 30 of us in that track.
So I'm like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, how are these guys going to replicate some of this stuff live? Like, it's going to be interesting.
There's actually a fifth guy.
There is.
That's not even a joke.
We'll get into that too because he's part of the album process too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had full control over what we wanted in these songs in terms of like, we recorded it ourselves, we mixed it ourselves, and we just learned. I mean, I've been mixing horribly since like whatever, second grade, but like working with engineers in St. Louis and all the recording experiences that we've had, we've like picked up on a lot of different things and a lot of very helpful and useful things, and felt like we were able to apply them. And so we're kind of the sky was the limit in terms of what we wanted to do, and
budget was a limit too.
Budget was a limit as well, but did we put too much in there? I don't think so. But to play it with 3 people alone, oh boy,
it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah,
but it was a lot of fun,
and we are for the fans.
Yeah,
we need to provide a great live experience.
Yeah. Well, I guess before we get there, let's kind of. There's a big gap here between, like, obviously it was, like we said, it's been many years. And you guys, we haven't really been active that whole time. Like, yes. we took a little break as a group, right?
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I can speak to that real quick.
So then let's kind of like cover a little bit of that gap, and then how where we get to the thought process of like, hey, let's work on a new record before we get to that point. So
yeah, so I mean, if you guys remember this differently, correct me if I'm wrong.
I'll chime in.
But God, we played a show in 2019 was our last one. 2020.
It was January 2020 at Blueberry Hill before COVID.
Yeah. And then COVID hit.
COVID wrecked everything in like February or March.
I think it started out in March, yeah.
Yeah. And so we weren't going to play a show. And I was in the process of moving as well. So it was just...
I just started my first actual adult job. A lot of things happened, I feel like.
Right.
Yeah, so live music was not necessarily in the cards. But we were still working.
We never officially broke up.
Yeah. No,
there is no breakup.
We were writing
songs.
We wrote through... Some of these songs are literally older than COVID or right at the start of when COVID happened. Like, we just continuously were writing, and at a certain point, it's probably Bennett that was like, we need to do an album. And we're like, okay. And then we just started recording, and
voice memos is a lifesaver. We put a lot of stuff in voice memos.
Yeah.
That's how we remembered what we were writing.
Yeah, we there's a few songs. The opener, Solstice, we dubbed the Iron Maiden track because the voice memo, the guitar, the rat pedal that Pat had, like, he initially had a riff that sounded like an old, like, almost like Flash of the Blade, like Iron Maiden.
It sounded like Number of the Beast, pretty spot on.
Yeah, it was like Number of the Beast, much Iron, right? So
pretty much Number of the Beast.
We were kind of like going back and forth, and then eventually, I don't know like kind of what spawned it, but Pat got in there, started like recording guitar, and then he sent like, not like a mixed version, but like sent something of like a high quality guitar part for like 1:30 of like what is now Solstice, right? And
I had a dream about that riff, actually. I'm not joking. I woke up and recorded it.
So yeah,
it came from a dream.
I don't know. All I know is I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna record this.
And that's the riff we use?
Yeah. And then Bennett had the riff and the verses. That was all Bennett.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, essentially like what happened was we just eventually at one point you did a few songs like Faceless Ghost, Solstice. And there was another one from like something we recorded earlier. And then we were kind of like, let's start moving forward. Let's start doing stuff with this. And yeah, that kind of turned into a 3-year album cycle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Driving
too
home all the
long.
time. Yeah.
But I think we kind of have like some momentum now. Like we
learned
a ton
a
of
lot, too.
other songs like in the chamber that we want to kind of get back into.
Well, we recorded how many songs? Like 20?
We recorded
this album was originally going to be 20 songs.
Whoa.
And then we cut it down to 12 so that we can release
And then it
more
became
later.
13.
Right. But I don't know. Once we learned how to record, we just started like throwing everything in that we've written just to like have stuff just because it was exciting and fun.
Oh, yeah.
We did it all in my basement though. All us.
Not
Other
all
than
in your basement.
well, I know your guitar parts were some in Nashville, but
Yeah,
for the most part, we would get together and go into my basement.
as we typically do.
Yeah.
That's that's really impressive. Like, I listened to this record and it sounds fantastic. I really like it a lot. I like that there's a lot of different sounds coming through. You've got some more kind of I don't know, punk kind of rock and ones sometimes, some softer ones, some kind of even lean 80s, like you mentioned, Maiden and stuff, like kind of some of that rock influences and things. And I don't know, just there's a lot of different sounds and made for a fun listen, especially not really knowing what to expect from you guys. It's been a while since we put out some new music. So this was a lot of fun to sit and jam to over the last couple of days. So
appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
I really had a lot of fun with this, and I'm excited for everybody else to get to hear it. And the record is called Solitary Refinement and due out on December 1st, tomorrow. And but we're going to give you a little advanced sneak peek right here today of what track was one of my favorites, called Lonely Eyes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, let's talk about this tune.
Yeah, this was also an older one.
It was going to be a single at first.
Yeah, Pat's got his hand up over there. He's got something to say.
Yes, Pat.
This is one of the songs on the track. So I feel like a lot of times Bennett has a part or writes a full song, writes a full 13-minute song. Or like I'll write a song or Jack will write a song, pull it in, and then we usually dissect it and break it apart or certain parts of it. Lonely Eyes was one of the songs that we all wrote together though. Like we just literally were in Jack's basement and we just played it. So that's a reason why I like that song a lot. Cause it was just the three of us. Like,
yeah, I'll say for sure. Like I
plus 4. AP was there in
definitely,
spirit.
there's some songs here where it's like, Pat came up to Jack and I with a full thing. Some of them we were like, I don't know about that. But some of them made it onto the record. The Rhythm's one of those where Pat just brought a banger to us. But yeah, something like really nostalgic about those is just Pat would have a riff and we would come to practice and then Jack would come up with something cool. I know the bridge, I think. I was like, let's do something a little different here. So it's super simple, but we switched it. We had like a little section in 3 instead of 4 to kind of like try
Crazy
something a little
stuff.
different, break it up. Crazy. Proggy.
A little froggy.
But yeah, Lonely Eyes was one that we've had in the chamber for a while before Pat moved to Nashville. So the song's probably about 3 years old now, and to finally be able to put that one out, I'm excited for you guys
We have a
all
lot
to
of
hear
toddlers on the album.
Do
A lot
we-
of toddlers.
Do we need to talk about the bridge or not?
What's up with the res?
The piano.
Let's maybe just take a listen to the song.
You can decide for yourself.
They already did.
I feel your voice fall onto me, erasing noise. Maybe now it's time to see. Maybe you can make this is a mistake. What makes sense is the past tense. The words will ring out in my mind, and each breath becomes a mess. But here we are, standing here tonight. I know that there's lonely, lonely eyes that leave the shattered, but maybe that's a problem for another day to matter. Oh, oh, oh. It won't matter. I can't breathe, but I still see the world in front of me. We all try so we can find ourselves here in the I know that those lonely, lonely eyes that leave the shattered, but maybe that's a problem for another day to matter. It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't matter. Does it
You're talking about some of these been around for a bit. Do you feel like you've been sitting on this material and you wrote these songs? Have they maybe took on a new life for you guys now, or like as far as like lyrical content and feeling? Like, do you feel like maybe do you feel the same when you're singing these songs, or do they feel like now it's just that moment, that feeling's kind of past, and now it's just like it's documented in the song, but you know, maybe they feel maybe these words mean something even different to you today, 3 years later and stuff? Like, do you guys ever
That's a really good question.
Really good.
I mean, I will say from I don't want to say an outside perspective, but you know,
No,
with me
inside
being new, right, and not having a part of writing and recording this, and just being asked to come in and play live, and then just recently asked to be a full-time member. I know when I first came to the very first practice, and I remember Pat saying something, and it kind of resonated with me. He was like, I've been sitting on these songs so long, like I don't even want to listen to them anymore. But now that everything is kind of coming out, we're about to release the album, we're about to have the show, we've been practicing a lot, and you can almost see that it's like the life is back there with those songs, that it's like as we're playing them, it's like, oh, that sounded solid. So to see that from my perspective after seeing it, the first practice being, yeah, these songs, and now we're all very excited to play the show and release the album. So I think that's what's been the coolest for me, is coming into and seeing it, like you said, have, you know, new life to it.
Yeah.
That was better than any of us.
That was really well said. This man wants to stake his claim in After Wednesday.
I will say I have been trying to weasel my way into this band since I met Bennett and saw them play. Where was that? Del Mar Hall, I think.
Yeah.
So you guys play and was like,
Christmas
wow,
show.
I would
Opened up with Kendrick Lamar.
I would love to be in this band, and then
We covered.
you know, here we are years later. So
You just had to prove
it's great.
yourself.
Yeah,
It's okay.
thanks.
You know, everyone does it at their own speed.
Here we are.
You next?
Yeah, sure. You know, I was actually I wasn't thinking about this specific question today, but knowing we were going to talk a little bit, my personal baby from the album is Path of Flowers, which is the 11-minute kind of a little bit proggy of a song. But
Don't let the 11 minutes scare you, though.
I bought this Spark practice amp right after I got my first paycheck graduating from school. So this is 2021. And you know, I just started playing some songs, listening to a lot of prog rock at the time. And I remember like I was kind of writing a song and I was thinking about, you know, just like a month and a half in, I'm just like, man, I'm going to be working for the rest of my life. And that kind I made me really,
That
really
usual
sad,
existential
you know?
dread that I feel every
The
day.
existential dread. But yeah, I was just like, I started to kind of write a song about like seasons, and then I wanted all 4 of the parts to be in the same key but have different modes to each of the part. And I kind of did that, but after a while I was like, this theme's kind of sophomoric almost, where like I don't know, it just seemed a little redundant, done a lot. So then from there, I think like bringing it to Pat and Jack when we were writing, kind of taking some of those different parts and then still having that kind of like longer proggy song with more of a conceptual arc to it. Conceptual arc, yeah. To it was something that we could like fit into the album. It was really fun to see me starting with just kind of like a pessimistic outlook to turning it into a more positive aspect of the album, kind of encapsulating everything before and after it, because it sits at the end of the track list, which I think the last 2 songs kind of wrap up everything really, really nicely. But yeah, I've been sitting on that for so long, and then it was a whole new life bringing it to Pat and Jack.
Yeah, I think sitting on songs for a long time definitely has its negatives and positives. But I know, like, for me, Faceless Ghost we've had for a while. I feel like that's the oldest one that we never recorded, but finally have recorded. And it has changed a lot since we've played it live, right?
Yeah, we have. We have.
No, yeah, we have.
Maybe a lot's a harsh word, but we've definitely like honed it in a little bit, but like it's become like one of my favorite songs we have because we've kind of sat on it and been able to like perfect it. And I'm so excited to play that one live.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I said, I'm excited to see this live, and we'll have a big opportunity to do that. An album release party happening December 8th. So you're going to get a week to sit with this record, learn all the words.
So you can sing along.
Yeah. Great idea.
We need more people to sing along. Pat's vocals get tired sometimes.
They do. AP's going to jump in and help me out with that a little bit.
Yeah. Give him a mic.
That's why Pat's happiest that AP's joining, because I can't harmonize because my voice sounds like gravel rocks, like wrestling in a sock.
Yeah.
So having AP being able to do some backup will be fun.
I will attempt. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we're
an attempt is better than what we have.
we're so excited for this Friday, next Friday. We've been looking forward to these 2 weeks. I know I have been.
Big weeks coming up. Big weeks.
A long time. We've been sitting on these songs for a while, and
there's the negative side of it. I mean, we're just so ready for them.
Can you let me finish my thought?
I like to cut people off.
God, I was going to bring it back.
My voice is more important.
You make me look like an asshole. My bad. We have been sitting on them for so long, and that's why, like, when we recorded, we would have to like force ourselves. At least I would force myself to take a break, like for like a week before I come back and keep mixing it, because it's like you have to have fresh ears. Between the 3 of us, my brother Michael helped master it, or he did master it. He would be another objective ear to help with like levels and stuff. Like it was just good to get all those different perspectives when you've been living in those songs for so long. But yeah, I mean, when I first heard the songs, like when we just did the scratch recordings, like, and we could tell where they were going to go, it was like a very emotional thing. And then, seeing them grow and get to where we want them to get. It came in waves. Obviously there are times where you're like, can't listen to this for like a week or 2, but it always comes back. And then like another song comes back. Right now, Path of Flowers is like my favorite song on the album to listen to, next to Solstice, which is my favorite. But every song is like, I don't know. I can't really pick a favorite, honestly, because they come in different ways because there are 13 songs. So like, it's just every song shines on its own at a different point in time for me.
And they're all pretty different too. I think that's the big thing, is that it's not an album that every song sounds the same. They all have different styles. They all have different, sounds to them, different elements. So
yeah. I mean, that's how some of my favorite records are. It's like so many of them kind of people try to fit in one lane, sometimes, and I'm like, so that works for certain bands, but I like having a lot of dynamic range and having songs that, especially a record when 13 tracks where you're going to go on a ride. Like this is
You don't want to be on the same ride for
That was our intention.
55 minutes.
Yeah.
Peaks and dips.
So
Right.
this is definitely one of those records you can just put on and go for the journey with the band and have a good time.
Roller coaster.
Join us on this journey.
Yeah,
of
for sure.
solitary refinement.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're super pumped for December 8th to play everything in front of everybody. We do have a fifth person playing live with us. My brother's going to join us for keys and synth, and he might attempt some backing vocals.
Is he?
He is. We're going to require it. He is.
Come on.
Him and AP are duetting on some vocals. So this is exciting for me
hang
to
on.
just watch.
I didn't get to be at the last practice. Did you guys?
We made every decision that we've made.
It sounds you added him to the band at the one practice I wasn't at.
without you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
by the
sitting
way-
on the toilet having diarrhea, and you guys decided to add a member to the band.
Gonna give
You
me
still
some
haven't
just
proven
thinking about
yourself
that.
to me.
I don't know. It just came out.
Like my poop.
Yeah. See?
Nice setup. Dinged it out of the park on that one.
I hate you.
Thank you.
So we got the party is going on at Blueberry Hill Duck Room. And again, December 8th, we have special guest Blond Guru and Ruby Lane.
We are so excited to play with both of those bands. It's similar to the album where we were like, we didn't want every song to kind of feel the same. I think all three of us are different sounding, which is going to be so awesome. I mean, everybody that we're playing with is so talented, more so than us.
For sure. But sometimes it's awkward being a headliner when the bands before you are better than you.
So I every year I make my like top 16 albums because they fit in like a 4x4 square, right? Blond Guru's Your Friends was one of my favorite records from last year. And I remember I texted Noah when that record came out, and I was just like, we got to play a show together, and you got to play Scripts from that record is so good. And he was like, that's the one record like we thought about the one song we thought about scrapping. And it was like kind of sad.
Wow.
But now, Noah, if you're listening, you have to play Scripts.
Requirement.
It's a requirement. But no, like I think we have a really good connection to Noah and Sean from Blond Guru. We've played a few shows with them in like a few different groups. And then
we played with them.
We played with
big
them.
Collab.
Oh yeah,
we were all on the stage at once.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There was a tweet when we did the album announcement. I guess we did a cover song at Blueberry Hill several years ago, where Sean, the drummer from Blond Guru, and Noah came up, and we did what song was it?
I think it was
all the
lit.
Small things.
No, it was.
Yeah.
We did all the small things. And they joined us on stage. So I think one of them.
It was spur of the moment, though. I'm pretty sure we were not planning on.
We
playing
were
at
ready
all.
to go home.
Right.
We were having fun.
Yeah.
But
So-
yeah, I think I kind of want to touch on this a little bit tonight too. There's just so much good music in St. Louis from like younger guys, younger, like
I don't know
our
if we're
age. considered
young anymore.
I am definitely not.
You're in your 30s.
I'm 31. I'm old. I got kids and stuff.
Knees cracked.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much good music out right now. Like the Blond Guru record is amazing. Blake from Inches from Glory is incredible. Puhoy. There's obviously Lobby Boxer.
We're
There's
just naming them off.
you guys
Keep
got
going.
any other
Who
good
else?
STL Rex?
I do recommend with Ruby Lane playing, and we have a pretty decent connection with them, being that I'm related to two members of that band.
There's a band called The Urge. It's really good.
I'm not done talking.
You cut him off
to cut you off.
They have a live album on Spotify that I just recommend everybody listen to. I was driving back from St. Louis to Nashville, and I threw that album on. And you want to talk about being taken for a journey? Like, they're insanely talented. So this is going to be an insane show between Blond Guru and Ruby Lane, and then we're going to come in at the end. We're going to be like,
a nice little period at the end of the sentence.
Period.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, so tickets available now. You can get them at the Blueberry Hill box office or Suite 100, or actually there's the box office at the pageant too. They'll sell them. Or if you really want to overpay on Ticketmaster, you can get them over there too. So
just get them out the door.
yeah.
Or pre-buy.
I mean, but
Can you explain to everybody how that works?
How to pre-buy? Yeah. So you go to the link that we post all the time.
The Ticketmaster link?
Yes, it's a Ticketmaster link. So
Oh,
you would-
okay, yeah. So we're talking about Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
I thought you were taking this a different direction. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'll
You-
shut up.
But I think
Period.
Ticketmaster charges you like an extra $4.
Yeah. So depends on how much you want to spend.
So you can just go to
Alright.
the door.
The day of, I think, is $12. So
What? I thought it was $10.
it's 12 a day of.
Oh, well, you can save $2 by going to the door.
That's how,
Shane, can we get a
No,
fact
what I'm
check?
saying is, what I'm saying is,
You got a guy for that?
that's how they get you.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
save
yeah.
$2. 12 and 12. You can save $2.
Either
We
way,
did,
they charge you
either way,
$4
no matter where, when, or how you buy,
If you
as
buy
long
two
as you
tickets,
come,
it
that would be great.
There's a lot of chaos here. AP makes a good point.
Yeah.
What? What was your point?
Doesn't matter when, where, how. Just if you come, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Yep.
If you come,
we love that
great.
venue,
If you
too.
don't come, fuck off. Just kidding. We love you still.
Next topic.
Yeah. Well, being that this is AP's first time, I do kind of want to go back a bit and learn a little bit more about you. You said you've been watching the band and wanted to be a part of the band for a long time now. But as far as your playing history, and were you in other groups, or have you just been noodling around in the basement for all these years, or what's
Sure.
Basement dweller.
I in fact am a basement dweller with my with my musical creation. However, I've played guitar since I was in fourth grade is when I first started taking lessons. I primarily play by ear. I have never learned how to read music, and music theory absolutely goes over my head. But yeah, so I all through like late middle school and high school, I played actually in a like a hardcore band, like a metal band. And we used to play all the time around St. Louis. We would play Fubar, rest in peace, Fubar. We'd play Fubar all the time, open up for all of like the big national touring acts. We were the local band to play. Definitely not worthy of that stage at the time, but it was fun regardless. I since then hadn't really played much until I moved to the St. Louis area, and I met a guy named Jim Thomas. Shout out JT Dreamer. He is actually an R&B artist, and he has pulled me into the studio with him a few times to lay down some guitar tracks on some of his R&B songs. So that's what kind of got me started back into really wanting to play guitar and play with people and play live. But then again, the connection with Bennett, and like I said, been trying to weasel my way in this band for a while. And so after I sent that video to Bennett, and it was like the next day, I think, when you had texted me, it was just like, hey, by the way, we have a lot of stuff going on with the new album, and so we'd like you to play with us live. That kind of brings us to where we are now.
Yeah.
So
nice?
It's actually kind of funny too, just like while we're on the topic of like you kind of like getting in. We saw. I love bringing people to concerts with me because like I like watching music that I like and making people suffer with me. But me and Jack wanted to see the Mars Volta in Chicago and their comeback. Not comeback, but like a tour for the first time in 10 years. So it's like I want to do this, and I mentioned it to AP, and we ended up going up. Pat was in Nashville. I offered you a ticket, but you did not want to come.
Sorry, but you can continue story. What is this slouching? You just took all my leg space.
My tummy hurts. You made it sound like I ruined the whole podcast.
Tummy hurts.
You made it sound like I just wrecked the whole
all of you to
podcast.
just take all of my
Dude,
leg
I'm
space.
at my mic level.
he just got
Back
comfortable.
off.
He just got comfortable.
That's
it.
insane.
I think it'll come from my tongue.
All right, Bennett, continue.
All right, yeah. So we
rude
went to
of
see
you,
the Mars Volta. AP came along with me and Jack. So that was the first time you two met. I think.
Yeah.
And I remember
We took
just
a
like,
Malort shot.
We did.
Whoa.
Shout out Chicago.
That was
Malort.
disgusting.
gross. Have you ever
Did
had a
you take
Malort
one?
shot?
Yeah, on this show, I
nice.
That was my very
You
first
liked it,
one.
didn't you?
I don't know that I would liked it, but it'll definitely get the job done.
Yeah.
You didn't like hate it though.
The first one is kind of rough. The second one goes down way easier.
Oh, he did more than one.
Oh,
So
no
maybe that's the issue. Maybe you have to get past
First
the
of all,
one.
it's a very polarizing. It's a very polarizing drink, right? So it's very polarizing. Either people love it, and that's typically Chicago people, and then you hate it. And so that's funny that you took more than one because I don't know if I've ever seen somebody take more than one.
Bennett
in a
needs a
sitting.
potty break.
I do need to pee. So
You gotta finish. You gotta
we could
finish
talk
yours.
behind his back while he's gone.
Story.
So rude.
we went to the Mars
end.
Volta and
Okay, me and AP will talk about this.
yeah, you guys got it. Yeah.
I think the main thing that I remember as far as like us interacting, not only did we got there, we took Malort shots, did that whole thing, but I remember we were sitting out on like the back balcony of where we were staying, and we were just talking about music and writing music, and
That's when
and
I was
playing.
like, I want to play with you.
Yeah, because
Not
I
in that
had I had pause. I had shown Jack some stuff that I had recorded, and again, like with my background playing heavier music, it was some heavier stuff that I had recorded the guitar on and just programmed very simple drums. And I played it for him, and he was like, "Yeah, that's awesome. I could do so much better on the drums." And I was like, "Yes, that was just simple programming."
I feel
So
like I
yes,
could add
definitely.
spice to it.
Yeah, and
To
so
make
then
it not sound like a drum track.
yeah,
You're
which
more
it
of like a
definitely was.
sugar.
Yeah, sugar and spice.
Damn, because I'm sweet.
But yeah, I mean, it was a great trip, and I could already tell that I could be friends, with everybody.
Sure.
And so,
Yeah, immediately getting along.
I'm so happy I was there.
Yeah, sorry.
Bennett didn't invite me. So.
It was just such a vibe with the three
Now
of
that
us
he's not
only.
here, he definitely did not invite me. So I don't know what he's talking about.
Also, that was one of the first times I was like going out in public with my giant gash on
your
my forehead.
Harry Potter
And I will
scar.
say, you guys made me feel good about it because I took a horrible dip at Oktoberfest.
Dip.
What was that? 2020?
You face planted.
That'd be 2022 then, right?
Yeah, it's 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely gashed my forehead open. And then I was in hiding pretty much for like months. But then we went to Chicago
In October.
and pretty much just plowed right through that and went into like a big crowd of people. I remember like walking past people to go to the bar. No one made eye contact with me. They were just like this.
The boy who lived.
Someone said Harry Potter as I was walking by them.
It looks good now.
It's getting better. It's the skin's still a little.
You heal well.
Just put
Thank
some
you.
put some
My heart doesn't.
makeup on it. I couldn't think of that.
I can think of the word makeup.
No.
It's funny if you were like went through like a whole like bandana phase, like just kind of
Oh,
I wish I could have.
like
I could never pull off a bandana.
Absolutely not. No.
going through wearing a lot of hats.
Oh, yeah.
like,
My hat was like all the way down too. All
right.
But I couldn't hide. I also have like a little thing on my nose here. I couldn't hide that.
all
You got
right.
one in your eyebrow.
I got pictures.
I got a lot of scars.
You got scars.
I got battle scars.
I got pics.
Yeah.
Pics to prove you couldn't hide it with a hat.
All right. Thanks, Pat.
I will never leave.
Bennett's back from his pee break.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I was really hoping you were bringing back Malort, but
Oh man, what a good surprise that would have been.
Bennett, you
the
messed
first time
up.
when I was in Chicago for a bachelor party, we went to the bar like right across from Wrigley Field, and one of our friends came down and made us all try Malort, and I never heard of it before, and I yacked immediately. So when we went up to Chicago, I was like, I
How
wanna
quick
see-
was it? Like Malort to mouth, mouth to vomit.
oh, I felt it immediately,
Really?
but I
One of those in and outs.
I was like, okay, we're outside. The security guard's watching me. I'm going to go over to this corner. He looked at me. He knew what was going on. He knew it was Malort.
he's seen
He
that
knew I
before.
was not a Chicago native. So,
Embarrassing.
yeah.
That's why he hides in his basement.
yeah.
Basement dweller.
Shane, next time
Just a
we're
band of
on,
basement
I
dwellers.
promise I will bring a bottle of Malort, and we're going to do some Malort shots
There we
together.
go.
That sounds really fun for you guys.
You will,
wait to
you
watch
will
it.
participate.
All right, let's talk about another tune that we played, and I think it turned out really nice. This song's called Barely Awake.
Lights start to fade as I'm leaving from the ground. I'm never coming down. But the moon sheds a light and illuminates above the clouds with no one around. A story without a sound. As I'm barely awake, every thought that I make, and there is truth in mistakes, and as I drift far away, there's a world somewhere outside this place. Still I'm barely time seems to stop when you're alone in your own universe. It's me and myself, and this I have learned. As I'm barely awake, every thought that I make, there's truth in mistakes. As I drift far away, there's a world somewhere outside this place. Still I'm barely
What would you like to share around Barely Awake, guys?
Pat, I think this is all you. Take it away, sir.
It's not all me. Jack came in with the drums.
Yeah. Do we have a full acoustic song, or they all have
That's as close to an acoustic as we
Barely
get.
Awake?
That and Limerence. No, Barely Awake. I don't remember really how. I can't remember where I wrote like the acoustic guitar for it. It was probably up at the lake up in like northern Wisconsin, about an hour south of the Canada border.
Really getting into the geography of the song.
It ties in. It's very
Just wait. It
I just gave my location away. But I mean, I think the cool thing about that song for me is, I have been traveling a ton over the past like 2 years. Bennett and Jack can attest to that. AP can now probably attest to it too.
You're
All the
barely
weddings.
awake when
A lot of
driving
weddings.
home from
Congratulations to
Nashville.
everybody listening, by the way. But yeah, a lot of like flights and stuff, just going to a bunch of stuff, traveling for pleasure or going for a wedding, which is also for pleasure. But
Pleasure.
I digress. I wrote the lyrics to that song on one of the airplane rides. And it was quite literally, I was like, I couldn't fall asleep on the plane, but I was super tired. So that's kind of what the song, like, that's where the lyrics came from. And then they take on a little deeper meaning, I guess,
you one of
about
those people
looking
that-
inside yourself to find.
Can you explain the deeper meaning?
I just was talking about it.
Were you
Cut me off.
one of those people where you start singing on the plane?
No.
You're not one of those.
You've got
No,
your,
I did have my guitar though.
You've got your
You
noise
started playing the
noise
guitar on the
canceling
plane?
headphones on.
No.
Can a guitar be a carry-on?
Yes.
Yeah. What?
Idiot.
Where the hell do you fit it? Under the seat?
Can we mute his mic first? But no, I love that song, and it's so much fun to play live, and I'm happy that we have AP here to play the parts with me.
Yeah.
And we all play it together live, and it's one of my favorite ones. It's one of my favorite ones to play live, and I also like it a lot because how it leads into the next song. I think it just kind of hits you like a brick wall when you get into that next song. So that was one of the tracks that we were like, this needs to lead into the next song. Like they need to be connected.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love that song.
Yeah. There was a couple moments like that on the record, right? And they kind of fade into each other.
Yep, those first two songs,
yeah.
right off the bat,
Right.
wall of sound.
Is there? Pow. Yeah. Was there like a lot of? I mean, other than that, like like you mentioned, but was there really a lot of thought into the particular set track list order, like the 13 songs? These all had to like go in this. I mean,
I didn't take that one.
I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's probably not necessarily like a concept album, but definitely had to feel like there's a flow through it though.
Yeah, I will start real quick on the first songs. I feel like we like intro songs.
Yeah.
Every time we play live, we like to have an intro song, whether or not
We love a
you
good
can
intro
hear
song.
it go.
We
when you
hate
pause
fade
it.
outs though. We will never have a fade
But
out.
I feel like intro songs are cool because they just kind of like announce the album. They kind of get you ready for it and then go straight into the next song. So we knew those first two that were originally one song. We broke them out into two, but we knew we wanted that sort of entrance. Now I'll hand it over to Bennett. You get the football.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I think there's a string of tracks that it's Homebound to Lonely Eyes to Limerence to Worst of Luck that all kind of have like a little bit of a concept, which maybe Pat can talk about.
We're
in a
talking
second.
about
We're just tossing it back and forth here.
But yeah, I think like overall, for me, when we were working on this record, when we were kind of going through Path of Flowers, the 11-minute behemoth, I wanted that to kind of be like almost like a thesis or just like an all-encompassing aspect of like what the record's about. Initially, it was going to be titled Seasons, so that's where the kind of like the solstice idea came from. Eventually, we changed it to Path of Flowers, which just kind of talks about like the whole record. And then in the end, it's the solitary refinement idea, I think, came from like, okay, you're relying on others, you're down on your luck. But ultimately, it's kind of up to you to make your own decisions, your own identity, wanting to better yourself and surround yourself by people that you want to be around. Which then leads into kind of a more positive spin with those last two tracks, which is We Remain, which kind of comes back to, again, this is before AP joined the band, but it was kind of about me, Jack, and Pat kind of just like working together, coming back, still like being together after all the years. And like, we would text all the time in those 3 years where in between these shows. But we're still together. We still want to make music. We're still here for each other, even if we don't do stuff with After Wednesday.
Right.
And then ultimately the closer track.
Man.
Yeah, wipe away the tears, Jack. It's all right.
Start crying.
But then we end on Old Friend, which is still like, okay, you have everybody else around you, but ultimately it still comes down to yourself. Like, are you happy with what you're doing? Pat can speak to Old Friend a bit better than I can, but for me, it's, are you happy with what you're doing? Are you happy with yourself? The choices you're making, and like if you need to take a second to just kind of like take everything in, that's perfectly okay, and you can do that just to kind of move forward. So that's what Old Friend is to me. Maybe I'm interpreting it wrong, but I think that's also okay. I can interpret it how I want.
I think that's the way those lyrics are structured. Is it's supposed to be kind of whatever it is you're reconnecting with, which is like the main overall theme of the album is like reconnecting, whether it be with yourself or others around you, family. In my case, for Old Friend, it's nature. So there's a lot of different lyrics about like nature, scenery themes in there. Probably not a sentence I just said, but
Close enough.
yeah. But that was because I feel like a lot of people experienced that when like COVID happened. And
Sure.
everyone's like, well, we can't be around people, but we can be outside still. And I don't know if that's when I think I did write this on the start of COVID.
You did.
Or at least the lyrics for it. But yeah, that for me, that one's about reconnecting with nature. And yeah, like when we went to Colorado and gave Jack a tattoo. It was fun. but yeah, Bennett said it's spot on. I mean, it's really about reconnecting, and whether that be with yourself, which is why the album's called Solitary Refinement. So you know, in order to like recognize all that stuff, you have to look inside, and you have to be at peace with yourself before you can be at peace with anything else or whatever it is. So there's a lot of different emotions in the album. And it's honestly really, I mean, it's a lot, and it started from like when we were 23. You and I were 23, and when Bennett was 20.
14.
But yeah, it's I don't think we intentionally did a concept album with it. We wanted to. I know Bennett really wanted to, and
I'm a prog rock guy. I love my concept albums.
But it just kind of came together that way, and you came up with the album, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what the album name means to you?
Yeah, Jack.
And then we'll go to.
I just want to say too, though, that this therapy session is free.
Yeah.
So this was better
Completely
than
free.
therapy.
This
So
is a feel-good podcast.
All right. No, honestly, though, I do kind of want to hear like Jack's perspective, because I think like sometimes me and Pat will like shoot around like themes and ideas, but I know like obviously Jack weighs heavily on that, and he's thinking about that. So I kind of want to hear what you have to say about like what it means to you.
The album name, or just like the album as a whole?
Just the album as a whole.
and the name.
Well, the name Solitary Refinement, I thought was a good name because I like the idea that you can have the ability to kind of heal yourself. You know, whatever you're going through, it's nice to have good people surrounding you. But at the end of the day, like when you go to bed, it's usually just you and your own thoughts. So if you can kind of clear that up, heal yourself in a way, then everything else in your life can kind of start like taking better shape and everything. So I think that's like an important ability for people to have, is to be able to be okay with yourself, self-confidence, whatever you want to call it. Solitary Refinement.
He came up with the band name too. He's coming up with all the names. For
I don't know,
everything.
sometimes I just sort things out.
It works.
And then the album, I think the name kind of ties into that because sorry, AP, to leave you out of this. But like us three, when we were writing the album and we were learning how to do all this stuff by ourselves, solitarily. I think that's a word. Thank you.
AP gives the nods of approval.
contributed.
We were learning how to do all this stuff on our own. We were honing ourselves, getting better at recording, getting better at playing, whatever it may be. So that's where I think it kind of ties into the album as well.
Yeah. What about artwork? How do we come up with the choosing the particular artwork we do?
Yeah. So I was, I mean, when we probably started this process, I was in 2022, I was scouring and like, I know like AI art is like such a big thing. And like, at first, you know, I kind of like, without fully understanding the repercussions of AI and like entertainment, I was like, oh, this could be kind of interesting. So I was like kind of like playing around with stuff. And then after a while, I was like, this really hurts artists, like real artists, especially as it's gotten more advanced. So then I started looking at artist page. I was like, supporting local artists like is super, super important. Because there's the raw emotion there, there's the energy, there's the creativity that's put into it that like can't be replicated by anybody else
Algorithm.
but humans.
Yeah, it's the human aspect for sure.
100%. So I think I just found this one page, and her name is Elisa Gauthier. I hope I'm not pronouncing the last name wrong. But I just found her
Definitely pronounced
page
it wrong.
on Twitter because, you know, I started following all these art profiles, and, you know, in Twitter now, like if somebody likes something, then it shows up in your feed. And then I saw her profile, and it was drawings of, you know, like kind of like mythical creatures and mythical animals and stuff. So I went to her page. She had a decent amount of followers, but, you know, not a ton to where it was, okay, this is just gonna be drowned out in emails. So I just kind of took a shot in the dark. I sent a message, and we were kind of working back and forth for most of the summer, kind of trying to hone something in. And while the elephant itself like doesn't have a ton of thematic aspects to the album, I think like elephants kind of represent anxiety a little bit, and that's part of Flowers. And some of the other aspects of the album. Yeah, we just kind of settled on like an elephant laying a sword down, being like, okay, I'm tired of fighting. I need to focus on myself. And the artwork kind of came together.
And flowers start to kind of grow from like the cracks in his life.
Yeah, definitely.
So deep.
Elisa killed it. And, you know, again, if any other local artists are listening right now, like for sure support local artists. I know most of you guys do, but
Doesn't she live in France?
Local is
Support local artists. So we found a girl in France.
Small business.
I guess
Small business.
what I meant was, you know, small
With the
artists who
haymaker.
are working on their crafts.
No,
right?
yeah. And going back to what you said, she like wasn't like this huge follower amount. I thought that was good because, you know, you could throw money at someone who has 3 million followers doing cool art and all that, but it's also nice to find like someone kind of up and coming, and like, not that After Wednesday is going to boost them that much, but it's still nice to support those like people with the less following.
There's an aspect of that too, though, that, you know, a lot of times someone with a big following that they're doing a lot of projects, they may not put enough heart into it or enough attention to,
Right.
you know, what you're wanting, but also giving them the artistic freedom to do what they want. That could also get drowned out. And so having someone that, you know, doesn't have 3 million followers, you know, has an email or DM that is absolutely packed.
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Last thing I'll say on that is just fuck AI art. Like, seriously, fuck AI art.
We know
That's
where he
it.
stands. I remember when he went. Never mind.
He was big into AI for a minute
I remember
there.
that.
I thought it was
That was in the
interesting.
beginning. That was in the
Interesting
He did a good job
technology,
admitting to it, though.
and then I realized the repercussions.
Yep.
You
I grew.
quickly.
My
Through
solitary
You
refinement.
solitarily refined yourself.
And we're full circle.
Yeah.
Hell
Everything
yeah.
ties in.
But yeah, just to kind of just real quick to piggyback off of that. I mean, we had been indie songs for a while, but we knew we wanted to get like people outside of like us involved as well. So it was cool to have someone else do the artwork, which we typically do. We've done all our artwork, I think, up until this point, except Hard to Find. And then yeah, for Michael, my brother, for mastering, it was just nice to have that second set of eyes. And I mean, yeah, he's professional grade producer essentially, so he's got all the equipment and the knowledge, and he's an engineer, so it makes sense. But
That boy's smart.
that
boy's
is
smart.
He got a big head with a
He
big
does have a
brain in it.
huge head. I have a big head, but I look
You
at
might
his
have a
head.
bigger head.
I think
We'll compare
his
next
head
time, but I
would
think
fool you, where it like looks bigger than mine, but is smaller.
His head was big.
His head looks
His
bigger
head
than
was
mine.
was big when we were little.
I know, I went to-
He's grown into
I
it.
went to
don't
middle
know so
school
much
with
about
him.
you. I'm talking
And high
about when we were
school.
like 5.
Oh,
Yeah, but
I
both
knew
you
him.
guys, both you guys have big heads.
We both have big heads. Yeah, yeah.
I got a small head.
But my head appears small, but then I put a hat on, and it literally
Your head
has to
does
be.
not appear.
There's some hats I have that are on the last hole, and I can't wear them because it unsnaps.
Well,
Brutal.
I know I've got you beat because I can't put on hats. So
You can't put on hats at all.
not
Darn.
snapbacks. No,
Custom
Darn.
made.
You want to try?
it'll.
Let's test it here,
Yeah.
Shane. Put this hat on.
I wear like a 8 1/4 on fitteds.
That's pretty big.
Yeah.
That's big.
That's pretty big.
It's a lot of knowledge.
What's funny is like you ever go to like I go to Lids and I'll be like, "You guys got any, anything over an 8?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "Never seen anything over." And I'm
Get
like,
the tailor in here.
Yeah. Somebody come measure it.
Do tailors mess with hats?
Probably. I would think so.
I would think so. You tailor my hat?
I've had this problem for a long time though. Like when I played Little League football, they had to like go get me a custom helmet from the Rams because they didn't have one to fit me and stuff.
That's
like,
awesome.
That's actually awesome, though.
Yeah, that's
right.
sick.
Like, I don't know.
My grandpa was in the army or military. I always botch which one it is.
Thank him for his service.
It's Army is.
Thank you for your service, R.I.P. He would always tell a story because my big head would always get brought up at like family events, and he would always tell the story about how he had to have a custom made helmet in the army because they had the ones to hand out to everyone, but his never fit.
Yeah.
So they had to get a bigger one.
I had to get a custom hard hat when I worked construction too. That because they couldn't provide one to fit me, and I'm like, I don't know, it's just funny. And then I'm like, I might as well just wear a 5-gallon bucket on my head or something. I'm like,
10 gallon.
yeah, right.
Get it.
But yeah, so there's it's been an issue for me from my whole life.
Well, you need some solitary refinement
there it
to
is.
Get rid of those insecurities.
Yep.
Well, Shane, how have you been?
I'm good.
What you been up to?
I mean, just
Podcast taking
partying.
off.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Doing some awesome things.
I'm trying to keep on grinding, trying to keep this thing going. May will be 10 years of the show.
Wow. Who was your first podcast guest?
The first episode was just me and I did about a year with my buddy Chris doing the show,
nice.
and the first episode was just us, like kind of reconnecting. And the first guest, pretty sure it was my friend Mike Garcia. I think he was either there or Mike Howington. But I got two friends from high school, like those were like 2 and 3, and I can't remember which order it was, but they were. Mike Garcia was doing some training stuff like Ninja Warrior stuff.
Oh,
interesting.
cool.
And
That's awesome.
Was he on the show?
I don't know if he's ever made air, but he's definitely
Competed,
Yeah.
like did the course and
right.
everything?
He's done stuff with him, yeah. But
I couldn't make it past
No
the
way.
first obstacle.
No way.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
My heart gives out when I'm mowing the lawn.
You have heart palpitations.
Why does that not even surprise
Does
me at
Megan have
all?
to mow the lawn then?
No, I mow the lawn.
Oh,
I
okay.
just have to take a
He just takes a nap afterwards.
Wow.
What's a normal
No,
heart rate
but-
while you sleep?
While you sleep, anywhere from 50 to 75.
Okay, mine got to 90 last night.
Were you having a bad dream? Or
No, I don't know. It was the first time I wore my
I
watch.
mean, there
while
are
slept,
moments in
and it
sleep
said
where you're, like,
90. I was
restless.
no way.
You can get if
And then I
you
woke
toss
up
and
with no
turn it.
covers on the bed, and I was like,
You
makes
probably
sense.
had a bad dream.
Yeah.
There's like
dreaming about Jack.
your heart
Makes
rate
sense.
is all over the place, but
Yeesh.
the less all over the place it is, the better your sleep it is.
Yeah.
Sorry for the
Because I'm a sleep expert.
sorry for the pivot. We just have a nurse. I thought I would.
He is a learned nurse.
yeah.
So yeah, Shane, you this is you're plus 1,000 episodes.
Yeah.
That's I mean,
We're
when we-
1065.
66.
66.
Or whatever it ends up being.
Right.
But yeah, we were somewhere in the 600s when I was last looking. So 10 years, just like the work ethic you have to constantly be like reaching out to everything St. Louis comedians, local musicians, artists. And I said this to you before the show, but like seriously, it's insane what you do. I've been following your page since a little before we did our first conversation, and just seeing all the different people you talk to, promoting different work. And my guitar teacher, we talked about this before, at 1064, was my very first guitar teacher, Tom Donovan, you had on the show.
Yeah.
And, just another person who's from St. Louis, you reached out. He had a book signing. You went out to go see him. And I think the first time you guys actually talked was on the podcast, right?
At length, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'd met him kind of at through Will Hogue shows. Like I'd seen him there, but like I don't know that we ever really had a conversation. So like that was kind of that was actually the first like real introduction.
Sure, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think just everything you've done for STL Music, STL Entertainment has been absolutely insane.
Thanks, man.
Your work ethic is crazy, and we're super grateful to have just guys like us who are making music in Jack's basement and playing some shows,
Talking about it in Bennett's basement.
and talking about it in Bennett's
We switch up
basement.
basements.
I've never been to you've been in my basement once.
Yeah, I've been in your basement.
I've
We're going to
never
AP's basement
been to
next.
Pat's house.
I've invited Bennett so many times.
that
he just
your
never
basement?
comes.
Okay.
My mom's
Porter's
so
very delightful.
disappointed that
Was that Jack's
Never showed
basement the
up.
first time?
That was my basement the first time.
It's
yeah.
a great basement. Oh, shout out your parents.
It's-
That's a great basement.
Really not that much different since you were. We didn't have to mention it was my parents' basement.
Shane, I got another question for you. Aside from Bennett's basement, what is the most
Choking.
insane? I'm trying to think, interesting or insane place that you've done a podcast interview. You've done a lot of episodes now, so what would you say is the most we'll say interesting, the most interesting setting that you've been in to do a podcast?
I don't know. There's usually the story comes up when I think about like the moments, and like one of the craziest ones that turned out to be actually a pretty good. This is going back to the beginning, and we only had one mic at the time. I had a Blue Yeti tabletop mic. I think I might even had that when we first met on the show.
Maybe.
I can't remember exactly, but I had that mic for quite a while until I was able to upgrade some gear. And so we had that mic, and I'm sitting with me and Chris, and I had our friend Bobby J. Cox, comedian, on the show, and we met at the Chesterfield Mall food court to record. And
Wow.
R.I.P. to that, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so we're sitting in there, and we're like, okay, well, this is quiet enough. Well, she'll be all right.
Quiet enough of food court in a mall.
It was like I think it was like a Sunday, so it wasn't as packed. But as soon as we hit record, I think like must have been like whatever 6 or something on a Sunday, and like the cleaning crew comes in, and it's like
So cute.
yeah. So like we're talking, which is why this became interesting, because Bobby, being a comedian, is quick with improv. And so there's moments on the audio where, and in the room where all I'm hearing is chairs dragging across the floor, just like you hear every sound, and you're like, this is going to be unbearable, the worst podcast, and but Bobby starts going on, or this is, I think, they'd been announced that they were doing Jurassic World, and he made jokes that we were on set of Jurassic World, and it sounded like dinosaurs, and
That's awesome.
so those kind of things like that, like it ended up saving it. I mean, like, in the audio wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I'm like laughing hysterically, thinking this is not going to be listenable at all, but it ended up being a lot of fun, and a great mix for a fun memory. But so that's probably the one that stands out. Like I've actually done a couple at the mall that have turned out pretty good, and I always wanted,
let's do that again.
yeah.
I
I always wanted to, like, I think it's West County. They have like the little train that drives around, and I was always like, man, I would love to just sit in there and like do a podcast. Like, this is like
Being taken around the mall.
After Wednesday round 3? Question
there we
mark.
go.
I'd be so down.
I would be so
We're
down.
all each in our little caboose.
Right. I just think it'd be funny, like a bunch of grown adults, sitting in there,
Knees up in a kid train.
High knees.
Yeah, if you ever want to pull the trigger,
yeah,
I think we would be down 100%.
yeah, we'll make it happen.
How?
We'll all get our picture with Santa Claus.
Ooh,
Yes. I don't think I've ever had my picture taken with Santa Claus.
really?
Terrible childhood. I'm just kidding. My childhood was fine.
Your parents are literally the best parents in the world, outside of Doug and Cheryl.
We've had one. I can, outside of Doug and Cheryl.
Yeah,
Your parents?
my parents are the best parents in the
Okay.
world.
My parents could beat yours up.
Also, shout out
Should we set a date?
shout out Bennett's dad too, because he tried getting me in the band before before I
was our
made it,
manager
so
for a while.
shout out Big Oak.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That reminds me, on my 21st birthday, we went out to Main Street, St. Charles.
Last
right?
week.
I was
Last week. Look at it. That was last week.
So
That was awesome. I love that.
no, he's still 20.
I don't remember what year it was, but it was my 21st birthday. We started at like Llewellyn's, and then we went to some other bar. And by the time we were at the other bar, I was like absolutely gone. I don't remember anything past being at Llewellyn's.
Pickle shots.
You were
And-
gone when I got there when you were still at the first bar, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you couldn't see shit.
That was
when
I
saw him.
thought that was second. I thought we met you guys out at the next bar, and that's where we actually met. Were
you there?
guys
So,
did
yeah.
not remember meeting me.
We met.
We met. Yeah, we even had a. This is probably gonna be too
I was-
much. We actually
no,
had a
I was
conversation
blacked
about
out.
I don't remember. I would have had to
I was-
drive all the. Did I sleep at your house?
I don't remember, but
remember.
I was blacked out, and we went to whatever the second bar's bathroom was, and I pulled AP in,
Yep.
and I like gathered all four of us, and I was like,
Us?
yes.
What?
I was literally like,
We're really gonna trust
guys,
the memory of the man.
AP
who was blacked out.
I was there, and I was
Okay,
not
yeah.
blacked out.
I was
Well, I
like,
wasn't either.
guys, AP should join after Wednesday, and you guys are like, okay, let's get back to the bar. I need to get
You're
another
drunk.
drink.
You're talking nonsense.
Oh, he had eyeballs going different directions.
Yeah, he gets chameleon eyes whenever he's drunk.
So look where we are now.
Yeah.
We made it
Full
again.
circle.
Fulfill the prophecy.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
The prophecy.
The promised one.
I don't remember where we were
Just
before.
don't test the high ground.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that. It's the bar with pickle shots. They
It's
got
on Main Street.
yes.
Thirsties.
Is that Thirsties? Yeah, that's where it was.
I
'cause
believe
the
you.
bathroom's
Sir
right there
Thirsties.
on the left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bennett
that's when
almost fought a
I
guy in the
arrived.
bathroom too.
Yes. So then, yes, I
And
met.
it was like
I think that was me.
you can't see it, but I'm.
No, but yeah, that's
Hopefully
where
you
I
heard
first met you guys, and then when I was reintroduced, because I was like, I think that it was you specifically, Pat, when I was just like, oh yeah, we met before, and you're like, we did. It's like, damn.
That's why you should never say nice to meet you. I just did that the other day
Yeah,
at a
how you
wedding.
doing?
I said nice to meet
Yep.
you, and they responded with good to see you again.
Well, that's the other thing too.
I
Is
was
like,
I'm sorry.
how do you
AP.
know it's nice to meet them though? You know what I mean? Like it's a
Yeah,
yes, it's a
you don't
courtesy,
know.
but you don't know.
Well, you can't say meeting you.
well, you say, hey,
It's like robotic.
You just say
Night.
have a good one.
meet you.
Okay, you can meet me.
Well, AP, I will never forget your face again.
Thank you.
I'm sorry that apparently I did allegedly.
It only hurt a little. I'm over.
Just
Solitary refinement.
He's solidarily refined.
just every practice show up. Nice to meet you, man.
Re-handshake every time we
Yeah.
get together in Jack's basement.
That'll be the shtick.
Yeah.
You meet him for the first
Right.
time every time.
Who's this guy that knows all our songs better than any of us?
There's a movie, Dana Carvey, called Clean Slate, and he's like a detective, but he can't ever remember anything. So he has to, every morning he wakes up with a clean slate, and he has to listen to his voice memos, trying to like remember everything about the case. And I don't know, it's pretty silly. So that'll be Pat, and he just like forgets the band member.
Mr. Clean Slate with the
Yeah.
voice memos. That
Yeah.
sounds familiar.
I do have terrible ADHD.
Oh, we have established that for sure.
So, like, it honestly couldn't have been my fault.
And it's ableist if you think it is.
Okay. Yep. It's my fault. I'm still I'm still happy to be here regardless. Don't let
I'm
that
sorry
play.
I wasn't us. I'm gonna go home and cry now.
Yeah.
I'm sad now. It's a dick.
You should go home and take a shower first.
All right.
I need a.
All right.
Stink.
All right. Well, so got the record, got a big party to celebrate this record, and what are we looking forward to for next year? I mean, are we wanting to tour it all on this, or what are we thinking about for 24, guys? What's
A little Midwest tour
I
would
think
be
we want to do a
amazing.
little small tour. We've
A Chicago
obviously
show,
we
a
can't drop
KC
everything
show.
and go, but
Yeah, we all have big boy jobs, but
You know, we mentioned how with Solitary Refinement we recorded 20 songs. You know, not to jump the gun a little too much, but we're gonna release new music for sure.
yeah, it won't be a 4-year gap again for sure.
Oh, yeah,
And
we
now that
have-
we've like learned how to record ourselves, we're narcissists, so we will start recording ourselves a bunch.
What about what about like music videos or anything like that?
Bennett, he came to us about doing some videos for Homebound, and we unfortunately weren't able to make it work. And then same thing with Rhythm, but there are plans, and we absolutely would love to do one again.
Yeah.
It's just a different experience playing music. It's, you know, you're obviously working in videography a little more, but it's fun. So I would love to at some point.
Yeah, I think the hardest part has been just you've been in Nashville.
Timing, yeah.
So like
100%.
I would love for us every weekend to like just get together, write new stuff, make music videos, you know, start planning shows and stuff. But just because we are kind of St. Louis, Nashville right now, like we still have a lot of stuff we want to do.
You could just green screen, pad in everything.
That's what we did with the photo you used for the podcast and like our profile pic.
Right.
Because we all just took photos in front of a wall of ourselves and
Right.
put it together.
Yeah.
And then of course theirs looks different than mine because you guys took yours on,
Because you took yours like
I took a horrible photo, so I took mine later at a different time of day.
And I stood off to the side and watched them take pictures.
Right.
He took the photo for us.
Well, also thinking about more new music coming soon.
Yeah.
I also am excited to hear AP's input on this. And and how that affects the next phase of After Wednesday.
Very excited for writing with you.
Maybe
it'll save us.
Get some of those like chugs in there or something.
Oh yeah.
Chin chin.
I want to write
Record
a metal album or like a metal EP. I have a few metal songs
You're
that
leaking
I'm
it,
trying
Bennett.
to bring to the table. We want to do like a country thing.
Oh my God, he's going through the whole plan.
There's just a lot of music I want to play.
I really want to do a city pop album.
I don't know what city pop is.
I honestly
it's like a
don't.
Japanese style of music, city
Oh,
pop.
that'd be cool.
I
I do want to do
did
like
not
something
know
like
that
the
genre.
Cure too, like actual like Disintegration Cure, dark and
Okay, completely different than what I was thinking for sure.
No, but we're throwing in things
Right,
we
right,
wanted
right.
to
You're
do.
right, you're right.
We're
It
actually
was-
figuring out right now what we want to do moving
Right.
forward.
I've been in my Giz phase, my King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard phase for
Me
like
too.
3 years, and it's like every album. Have you ever listened to them, Shane?
A little bit.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
every album's like a different
You guys are
vibe. They
alone.
got their metal records,
Right.
they got their psych records. So like, I just, especially since now we know like what we're doing, like how to record. You know, like this is for us ultimately in the long run, like us to be able to like just have fun and look back and like
Yeah.
show our kids, or like AP has kids already, but like he can show
Old.
he's old, but you know, he can show like we can all like kind of just like look back and be like, you know, this was really fun playing some like Gojira style metal or like Cure style records. We're not as talented as Gojira or the Cure, but you know,
We're more talented.
we're more talented.
I think it's really nice. It's
Sorry, I just had a random thought.
You know, he wanted to cut you off finally.
He so
Well,
did.
you call me up, somebody go.
It was really like uplifting, I guess would be the word, or just like it boosted our esteem a bit to know that our first album we can make sound decent like this. Like we're very proud of this album. We think it sounds very good, especially for it being like completely made by ourselves with Michael's help mastering. But that has made me super excited for what we can make in the future as we get better at recording and all that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, poor Michael's not going to ever get out of it now.
Yeah. Also, well, I mean, since we brought up Michael, did we even bring up that he's joining us on the stage?
We
we?
did.
No.
I think we
I
did.
missed
Five.
that, huh?
We went from 3 to 5 peeps. on
Yeah,
stage.
because we talked about you guys exchanging vocals like a duet.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Shout
like
out-
a spotlight
shout out
on the
Michael.
stage. You guys are going to hold each other, and it's going to be a real touching moment. While Jack tries to attempt a world record.
All right.
That's just not a thing. That's your concussed brain.
Yeah, sure.
What was the thought you had, real quick? Gone already. Gone. That's the concussion. That's the concussion.
What was the question?
Now, just continue.
Sorry.
It's back.
You did want to talk. It is back. It always comes back at some point.
Full circle.
You did ask about like new music. We do have a lot of ambitious ideas of what we want to do. We do have like more songs that are actually recorded that were supposed to be on this album. We still have to mix them. Probably take him back to AP for his input on guitar work on those, and just kind of build off of those and put those out to the world hopefully soon. I mean, it shouldn't take too long. It's not too many songs.
Honestly, I mean, like, I'm speaking with, optimism here, but I would love to do another, like, put out this 6-song EP that we kind of have, like, in the back chamber. Oh, apparently 7. He just gave me the fingers. 7-song EP, early next year. That would be great to kind of, like, get everything out that we have, like, kind of in the back catalog that we're still proud of. Start fresh. Again, proud of everything we've done, but like Jack said, I think we're all just super, super excited. Like
to improve.
Now we know what we're doing.
We're ready to foundation.
Our new stuff we haven't recorded, I love. Like the song that we were working on the other day. Jack's basement.
Yeah.
We got a few.
The song we worked on in your basement and the song we're working on in AP's basement.
We didn't work in my basement.
Oh my God. Go with the bit.
The joke went right
over.
Yeah.
Even though he has his hat like frat boy style right now,
Trying to
it still went all the way over.
It's frat boy style. You're the one wearing those baggy.
You got the Mizzou
You
sweats.
got the Mizzou baggy sweats with his long sleeve pastel blue shirt.
Is that an old
Got
row?
me.
Is that an old row shirt?
I think it is.
Oh, absolutely fucking not. Sorry, excuse my language.
Check him.
Let me look at that tag.
Just grab him.
Well, you can find more from After Wednesday on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll grab tickets December 8th. Join us at Blueberry Hill in the Duck Room as we celebrate Solitary Refinement. And but yeah, coming out December 1st, Friday, tomorrow. Learn all the words, sing along. We're going to test you.
For sure.
And,
It's going to be fun. We're going to have a lot to regardless.
Yeah.
We have a spotlight ready for anyone who isn't singing along. The spotlight's going to shine right on them. Yeah. And then we'll call them on stage to publicly speak.
I will give a free shirt because Jack just got shirts. This will come out of my.
Okay.
It's his cut. It's his cut.
This comes out of my cut.
Okay.
If anybody can find the King Gizzard reference I put on guitar in the album, I'll give you a free shirt.
So nobody's getting a free
I was
shirt.
about to say, all right, so I can confidently say
I have
I'm
a
not
couple
giving
people
shirt out.
listening that'll probably start looking for that.
All right, free shirt on me. My cut.
On
But yeah,
you heard it.
listen to the album, learn the words. It was so much fun to put together. It really was.
Well, thank you guys for spending some time with me. And like I said, I really enjoy this record a lot, and I'm pumped for everybody else to hear it. And,
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
yeah.
Thank you for
Appreciate
your
it.
time,
We
sir.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So this was really cool. It's been a long time since we got to do this. So like I said, it was a nice treat when you guys reached out and said, let's do this. And so I was happy to meet up with some old friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been
So-
wanting to for a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's not. Yeah, we won't wait 5 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'll have us, that's that.
Right.
That's true.
We have to get on that train.
Yeah. That's the next one for sure. So we put it
The
in.
West County
West County
train.
Mall, we're coming, baby.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have like 3 more members by then.
Yeah.
We can fill the whole train.
It's our train.
All right.
We kick a kid off. We have to do a podcast.
Excuse me, son. We're working here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Shane.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.